Well, there we go, our last day in the Philippines.
No.
Feels weird even saying that. Right now we're headed into BGC to grab some breakfast, or, well, I suppose early lunch.
Brunch.
And then yeah, it'll be time to head off to the airport.
I can't believe we've spent an amazing 2 months here and it's already coming to an end.
It's been so quick.
It's gone so fast.
It's more fun in the Philippines, that's why. Salamat po.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Last time getting Filipino money out of Filipino ATM.
So this is one of our favourite parts of Metro Manila. It's called Burgos Circle, and around here it's like really like glitzy and glamorous. There's lots of lights that shine at night across the road. It looks so beautiful. We came here last night for our farewell drinks. We had a beer at the waterhole and it was such a nice atmosphere. Like, we had a really nice time, and thank you. And now we're at one of our favourite Filipino establishments here. It's called Shaka, and we've been to 4 of them now across the Philippines. We went to the one in Bohol, Siargao, Malbo and Cebu, and now this one. And the food has just arrived and it looks so good.
It's vegan heaven.
Yeah, vegan heaven.
So I've got a lovely 3-bean shakshuka with a really crusty loaf. So good. And we've got some chili cheese sticks over here, and what they call a pot of gold, which is basically mango, passion fruit, coconut yogurt, and then berries on the top. Really set us up for a long travel day, because we ain't sleeping tonight.
But first, hydration.
That shakshuka is so warming and salty and savoury.
I'm going to go in for one of these chili cheese sticks because they look very interesting. Look at that. Wow, it looks very crispy.
Wow.
Oh my god. We've got a chili pepper stuffed with vegan cheese and then fried in batter. Like, does it get better than that? There's also a really nice balsamic glaze along the outside of it.
Oh, that's what it is. Crunch time.
And now we are heading to Starbucks to do some much needed work for the next few hours.
This here is like the best dog park ever.
I'm in heaven.
And they're all perfectly groomed. I've never seen anything like it.
One of them had a perfect haircut. And then there was another little one in a pram.
Okay guys, we can't put it off any longer. We have to head to the airport. Right guys, we've just arrived at our boarding gate about 3.5, 4 hours early, so we've got loads of time. And what we want to do with that time is answer the questions that you guys very kindly sent in to us about our Philippine travel adventures. So we're going to log into our YouTube account here, but first we have to turn on our Surfshark VPN. A VPN is a virtual private network, and it's something that everyone should have on their devices in 2022.
Surfshark protects you and the data on your devices from potential hackers and viruses looking to steal your sensitive information while connected to public networks.
When you turn Surfshark on, it creates a barrier over your data, ensuring that you're free to work or browse on the go without a worry.
But that's not all that Surfshark has to offer. It also enables you to change the location that your computer thinks it's in to different countries around the globe with just a click of a button. We love watching TV from back home in the UK whilst we're on the road, but sometimes because of our actual location, it's not always possible. So all we do is change our location to the UK, and in a matter of seconds, we have unlocked all the same content we could access just as though we were back home.
Surfshark are currently offering viewers of this channel a whopping 83% off and 3 months free. They even offer a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there is no risk to trying it out whatsoever. Just use the code Adam and Yaz or click the link in the description down below to take advantage of this incredible offer and get yourself protected right away. And now, onto the video. We've got this one here from Jack Abagas. What were your top 3 favourite places you visited? What was your favourite part about these places, and which place you visited would you recommend for vegans? Ooh, okay, so three-parter.
Top 3 favourite places.
Number 1 was
Mobile.
Legatsby for the Mayon volcano.
Gatsby.
And number 3...
I really liked Shargal.
Yeah, Shargal, that was it. Favourite parts about the place is Shargal is just like the whole island because it's just so hippie and
Shargal
relaxed.
is beautiful and everyone there is just so chilled, like relaxed.
Mobile kind of the same?
Yeah, the island vibes.
Yeah.
Really, really nice. And obviously Mobile is famous for the sardine run and the whale sharks.
And then Legatsby was obviously the Mayon volcano. Simple.
And that was the best thing that we've done in the Philippines. So that is way up there. And that was I did not expect that to be our favourite.
No, not at all. And it was the hardest one to get to, mainly because we were in Bantayan and that was kind of remote.
Took 4 days to get there.
Nearly 4 days. So worth it. I recommend everyone go do that. We left some details in that video actually about the tour guide, so go check that out.
Yeah.
Best place for vegans.
Bohol, the vegan shack, which is just off of Panglao. You come off of Panglao, you go over the bridge, and it's on the main island of Bohol, and it is just so good.
That is only one restaurant in one island though.
Highly recommend though.
Siargao normally would be before the typhoon, now not so much, but
yeah.
Siargao is probably going to be your best bet. Otherwise, Metro Manila, because that's where most of the vegan restaurants are found.
So the second question is from Palval, and it's, in your 2 months here, what is your favourite activities and place? Activity.
Kind of similar question. Activity, whale sharks for sure. I have to go with volcano again.
Place. But it's very different. The volcano place is obviously very different to the island vibe, so I feel like it is really hard to choose. But definitely Mayon volcano. But place, like in terms of islands, I would say Siargao.
Yeah. Number 3 comes from Rawkista. You guys are one of the few vloggers I enjoy watching.
Aww.
Oh dear, who are you watching? I'll still watch your videos outside of the Philippines, thank you very much.
Thank you.
My question is, what are the things that can be improved on regarding Philippine tourism?
I've got one.
Yeah.
Signage.
Yeah. Something as simple as like an exit sign.
Yeah.
Like when we were in the amusement park in the last video, there was no sign for the exit, and I've noticed that a little bit of a theme in the Philippines, that they don't sign things very well, unfortunately. When we don't have signal and we can't use our phone, it's really tricky to, and a lot of locals don't necessarily know what we're looking for, and there is sometimes a bit of a language barrier.
Yeah, so lack of signage, like on the roads, even just signs saying, you know, this many kilometres this way or this way. That's been a bit hard.
And talking about tourism as well, in Thailand there's tourism offices and ticket offices on every street pretty much in most main cities. So you don't even have to go far to book a ticket. You don't always need cash like you do here. And it's really hard to book anything online in advance in the Philippines, we've noticed. I might be wrong, but when we've tried to book tickets for a boat, for example, we've always had to go to the port to go book them. We even had to wait something like 3 hours once just to book a ticket at the ticket office to get from Cebu to Masbate Island.
And there was nothing around that port, so we got dropped off by the tricycle at the ferry port with nothing around. Had to wait in the rain literally for 3 hours. It opened, we booked it, and then we had to get a tricycle somehow out all the way back into the town again. That has been one of the main stresses, is trying to book travel.
Make it easier for tourists to know where they're going, and make it easier for them to book to where they're going. That would be my only 2 kind of criticisms.
I would say one of the main things is being able to book tickets online, because then we wouldn't have to travel to a place to then book a ticket, because we've had to do that a lot of times.
We haven't flown by plane that much in the Philippines. We went down to Cebu and then we came back from Siargao. The rest of the time it's all been on boats and buses, and it is really hard when you have to book it at the ticket office itself. For us anyway.
Once we're on the actual transport, it's great, but it's just booking the ticket for it has been hard. So the 4th question is from Chance Mans. Given the chance, would you consider living in the Philippines for good? Thank you very much for all of the love and appreciation you've shown.
Ooh,
thank you
what
for
a
watching.
Good question.
I don't know.
It's a little bit too far out. Is the problem with Siargao?
I personally don't think I could permanently live in the Philippines. It's just too far away from everything. Like, family is too far away.
It's also nowhere near vegan friendly enough for us yet. I know that's changing very slowly, but until such a time, it's going to be very hard.
It's just not ready for that. It's just stuff that we need that we can't get here yet. I'm sure it will improve in the future, but right now,
for the time being, probably not. But in the future, would consider it.
We're just really enjoying visiting at the moment for a couple of months, really taking it all in, and then leaving.
Yeah.
And then we'll come back another time.
The next question comes from Repa Pips. In the 2 months of roaming the Philippines, did you ever feel unsafe and in danger? Also, will you even consider coming back in the future? Well, let's answer the second part of that question first, because we are already planning our return back to the Philippines sometime after rainy season for sure.
How can we not?
If it weren't for the visa ending and rainy season starting, then we probably wouldn't even be leaving now. But it feels like a good time to leave and then come back and explore the bits that we didn't see, like Palawan and Boracay.
El Nido.
Yeah, so we're going to do that sometime towards the end of the year or beginning of next year.
Yeah. And in terms of have we ever felt in danger, me personally, absolutely never. Not once.
I
Have
think
you?
no. The closest it would have come to it, I suppose, would have been Cebu City. Everyone in the Philippines is extremely friendly. It's just somehow in Cebu it felt a little bit rough around the edges.
There was a man walking around with no clothes on.
Yeah, yeah. We were greeted when we came off the boat by. Well, we weren't greeted by him, obviously, but one of the first things we saw was a completely naked homeless man just kind of wandering the streets.
Just don't know where to look. It's like, oh my god.
That was probably the closest we came to what you're calling endangered or unsafe.
Yeah, but no.
Okay, so the next question is in 5 parts, so we should just do a speed fire one. Okay? We're gonna do it? Let's go. Adam and Yaz, we hope you had a great stay here in the Philippines. Thank you for featuring our country. Thank you very much for watching. Have you tried taho and pandesal in the morning during your stay here in the Philippines? Taho, tried to find it, never found it, so unfortunately not. Pandesal, yes, with coffee, amazing. What Filipino food do you think you would miss the most?
Ooh. Bistek.
Bistek, adobo for me.
And lumpia.
And lumpia.
Yes.
And pancit canton, just all of it,
All of it.
When and where would you want to visit next? We answered that, end of December, beginning of next year possibly. Number 4, were there any incidents that you felt unsafe or there any scary incident you encountered during your stay here in the Philippines? We answered that one already as well.
Literally none.
How would you rate your stay here, 10 being the highest score? I give it a 7.5, maybe an 8. It will get a 9.5, 10 when the Wi-Fi is sorted out.
When the Wi-Fi is a bit better and
Yeah.
when we can book tickets online.
Correct. Book tickets online and Wi-Fi.
I give
Basically
it-
online stuff.
I give it an 8.
8.
Because it's just absolutely beautiful and the people are also absolutely beautiful.
That's it.
Next question. How do you find vegan foods in your destinations and what do you do when there is none? It was both a suspense and a thrill following you from your first Pinnacle Bet meal in Binalot in
Oh.
BGC. Do you remember that?
Yeah, oh my
that was
God.
really good.
Oh God, where do we start with the vegan food thing? It was a real struggle for sure, like we said. When we don't find vegan food, it's usually to either Jollibee or McDonald's for French fries.
Fries, yeah.
But when we are lucky enough to find a Burger King, then they have a really good vegan burgers that we can eat there.
But in terms of finding vegan Filipino foods, we normally just type in Google Maps like vegetarian restaurants, or walk along the street. If we see a restaurant, we'll just look at the menu, or if the waiter or waitress comes up to us, we'll say, hi, do you have anything vegetarian? And normally they can say no, but we can make it vegetarian. Basically stuff like that. Or if we get pizza, we'll just have without the cheese.
Yeah, that was the big difference between Thailand and the Philippines. We had such an easy time being vegan in Thailand because a lot of the things you can substitute. So you can still have a very traditional Thai dish and just say swap the chicken out for tofu. But a lot of the Filipino dishes are basically all meat, so you
Yeah.
can't really substitute that with something
And I
else.
found that a lot of restaurants have actually said it's not possible to make anything
Yeah.
vegetarian, which we're really shocked by, but it is what it is.
Sometimes if it's pre-made, for
Yeah.
example. So where do we go? Unfortunately, the answer is either Burger King
Fast food restaurants.
and then McDonald's, or we get some, cup noodles.
Yeah, I was going to say 7-Eleven, they've got we actually had it in one of our vlogs, it was a mushroom burger with rice and gravy,
That's
which is
it,
really
yeah.
good, really cheap, they heat it up for you there.
Yeah.
It's a good fallback option, and just pot noodles really from
Yeah.
7-Eleven. So
And they do have a few kind of vegan snacks like the vegetarian chicharron. A lot of those flavours are actually
Oh, the
vegan.
crisps, yeah.
So we kind of lived on those as well. We haven't had the best diet in the last 2 months, is the
No.
honest truth. So, but that's how it is here. I'm sure it'll be much better next time we come.
So this question is from Joel C. What would be your top 3 advice to travellers who want to travel Philippines for them to enjoy themselves to the fullest? Take a bow, guys. You did very well.
Oh.
Thank you.
Number 1, very, very important. Travel as light as humanly possible.
Yes.
Because we came with 2 medium suitcases. and we're leaving with 2 small suitcases because it was so hard in the Philippines with 2 big, well not big, relatively large heavy suitcases.
Yeah.
They got absolutely trashed. The wheels literally came off of our suitcases.
But it's because you're wheeling the suitcases along like sand and stones, gravel and uneven surfaces quite a lot of the time. So
a lot of the time it's not possible to just pick up your suitcase and carry it to where it needs to be.
maybe take a backpack, like a big backpack, or a backpack that's got wheels in it, so you've got the option to pull, because we do enjoy being able to pull them, so we don't have to weight on our back. But sometimes when they're obviously too big and too heavy, like dragging them along the floor is a bit too much. So
or small cabin size suitcases like what we've got now.
cabin size, or a like large backpack or something.
Yeah, just travel as light as you can. Always carry cash, because we've been caught out so many times. We thought, oh, there'll be an ATM there, there'll be an ATM there. No, because a lot of the time the ATMs in the Philippines are offline, or they're not working, or they don't exist.
Or they accept local cards only.
Yeah. So cash it's not even king here, it's emperor. And we can't use GCash here, which all the Filipinos use, because we're foreigners and you can only use it with a Filipino bank account. So that didn't help either. It's literally here, outside of Manila I'm talking anyway, it is cash or pretty much nothing. Even bank transfer sometimes is maybe not. So number 1, suitcases, very small ones, or travel as light as you can. Number 2 is cash always. Number 3,
try and travel the Philippines like the most local way possible, because like, for example, get the local bus, or get like the train,
overnight ferry like we did.
Yeah, or get the train in Manila, or get the boats. Like, don't just fly and get all like the best luxury things.
We once accidentally got an ordinary bus, because by the time we got there and booked the ticket, they had run out or sold out of air-conditioned buses. So that ended up being one of the best experiences in the Philippines, even though it was somewhat out of our comfort zone, let's say.
We had sore butts.
Yeah.
It was so funny.
But it was really cool, in a way, to see how the locals travel and to travel among them.
And also, you just meet different people, and you meet all the locals. It's so much better than just getting the fancy ways everywhere and not actually embracing the local culture and like the people. So that has been a good thing for us, being able to do things more local. Because we've met so many cool people.
We have.
Done so many cool things.
Yeah, that we wouldn't have done otherwise if we were just taken the best way, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like flying from A to B instead of taking the buses and the boats and all that. So just try and dive in.
We went to a little local Indian restaurant and we met a lovely guy called Anwar.
Oh,
Hi, Anwar,
yeah,
if you're watching. If it wasn't for you, then we'd never have known about Mayon Volcano, and that was like the best thing ever. So this is what I mean, guys. Just do things local. Speak
Put
to
yourself
people.
out there.
Yeah.
Well, that is pretty much all the questions. There were so many, but a lot of them were kind of the same as each other. So we narrowed it down to those. Thank you all for sending them in. It was such a pleasure being in the Philippines. We cannot wait to come back already. Thank you all so much for the love and support since the day we arrived
we've
here.
had so much, like literally love and support.
In the comments,
on
on the
our
community
journey,
post.
everywhere, and it's blown us away, and we're so grateful. Honestly, it's been incredible. But now it's time to leave. Bye.
Bye.
Joking.
Salamat Po. We love you all so much. Thank you.
Salamat Po.
Bye.